Yeah, I think the best antidepressant is exercise.
Absolutely. Oh my God, 100%.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I think there's even like for depression meds, and obviously your doctor prescribes them, but it doesn't, from what I understand, it doesn't actually increase the amount of like dopamine, serotonin in your brain. It just releases it steadily.
Yeah.
You're not making more. So like if you're already depressed, like you need to be putting more dopamine in your body, working out, feeling healthy, not just siphoning off like at different times, right? So that's why people don't see these big changes on depression meds. You're always on them until you start eating better, working out, like being out in nature, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What about you? You've changed a lot.
Focus. Focus is a big thing.
Especially as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. I own a business. My whole life has been work. That was, opening my shop was just like all consuming, and it was one of those things where I had to take time to really work on me. So I don't have kids. I don't have any of that. So there was no excuse except for the fact that I'm tired. I'm going to go home. I'm tired. Well, you're tired because you're not doing anything.
Have you seen those entrepreneurs, and in this case, I'm thinking of like men. I see it a lot where they make a lot of money. They have a lot of money. They always work. They're working all the time. And then when they get in their 60s or 70s, they're so broken down and unhealthy.
Yeah.
Number one, that maybe they die earlier. Or number two, they spend all the money they made working on their health care.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Right. And it was and again, I didn't want to be, I'm in my 40s. I was starting to see a lot of decline. And I'm like, I don't want to be 50 and diabetic and sick and hurting and needing this. I've already had to have back surgeries and all this other stuff, and that was contributed to like weight and posture from what I do. And, but the confidence, huge. I have my bad days. There's a lot of that, but it's mainly just the energy level is top tier.
Yeah, and you have to do that every day to sustain it.
And the days you don't want to go is the days you need to go.
Oh,
because that is honestly when you're going to get the best, absolute best workout. That serotonin high is going to be bonkers when you leave.
And for Jen, it's kind of funny because I look at it as like a business owner and a coach, but like everybody always compares themselves to Jen. Right? Like it's literally like, and like it's funny because like
she's like so humble. She's like Stelbert.
And it's funny because the new people, like even some of them, like because we have like old martial arts guys come in. Look at her kicks. And then the new
she
women.
dents the bag.
The new women will be like,
I love it.
The new women just look like. And I was like, no, she's like,
you can get there.
Yeah, like that, But no, like I said, instantly came in and everyone was like, wow, this lady came in, like, because you don't usually see that, especially with that technique, right? Because you had kicked before, because she calls it kick. But like, what on your journey? What have you learned?
So what, and I so appreciate the compliments, but what people don't realize is I do this day in and day out. I didn't look like this when I started. And what it's taught me is consistency gets you results, and not quickly. It took a while, to start to see definition. And you talk about body dysmorphia, and I feel like I don't see what everybody else sees because I'm still always like a work in progress and, where I want to be stronger. But I couldn't do a push-up when I started kickboxing. I couldn't. And it just took determination and hard work and that over a long course of time. But it's day in and day out for me. And that's a non-negotiable for me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's really about the consistency, which we tell people, but it's like the compound effect. So when we make small changes over time is what actually corrects everything, right? Like you didn't put the weight on overnight, right? So it's like that whole like small changes. So as a coach, like what we do is fix the protein, right? Some people they don't want to follow the nutrition plan, fine, hit your protein goal, right? So it's those little things where we can guide them, because I'm your coach too. Right? And so we have discussions and I have to be like, okay, like don't worry about that. Like, just do X, Y, and Z. But what have you learned in your journey? Because you went from being diabetic to not diabetic, correct?
It's from being diabetic to pre-diabetic. So I still have a little bit of ways to go. My A1C has gone down considerably. So I'm like on the border now.
And you have small children?
Before, yeah. I have 2 little kids.
So like,
I need the energy for those two.
Energy, but also most likely extended your lifespan.
Yes, right? So we weren't thinking we were going to have a second one. So when my wife decided she wanted a second one, I was like, I knew I had to be healthier for my oldest. He's got a lot of energy and
a lot.
Yeah, a lot. But then for the second one, like now it's this 5-year difference. So he's 3 and the other one's 8, and I'm like, I'm an older mother, 49. So I gotta like get healthy, kick myself into gear. I need the energy for them. I need to like have a better lifespan because I need to be around for them. So that was a huge kick in the butt for me. But like the surgery itself was, like Rhiannon said, the last resort. When they told me that I was diabetic, I was like, that's it. I can't ignore this anymore. Because I always kept trying, but when you have like a hormonal problem, if you don't get that fixed, everything that you're trying is just going to be hard, and you're going to get depressed, and you're going to get, you're going to fall back again and be like, whatever, this is just my life. I'm just going to gain the weight because that's what my body's doing to me. Mm-hmm. So this helps me because I did start losing some weight like right after the surgery, but the only thing I could think of is when they were going to clear me to come back, because it just was feeling like I needed to come back, and it helped me to like see the weight loss better, see like toning better, and not just that, but like my energy level. That's exactly what I was looking for, to be able to like, manage my kids and stuff. That energy level that I get from being here is great. And being mom, like punch in the bag is really, really necessary.
I think it's important too. Something that you said, Sandy, your kids are going to see you do this.
Oh yeah, and mine is here. He comes
when I look at my own 2 kids, and they're pretty fit, and I feel like having a mom as a role model that fitness is a priority, that's really important to kids. So I think
definitely,
which is interesting. And so what we tell people is like, so again, if you don't take care of yourself and you get sick, who's going to take care of your kids like you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like when we talk about being a priority, if you have a problem being a priority, like, mentally, like I get that, but like do it for your kids then.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do it for your kids because you want to put them first, then when you break down, then what are they going to do? But they also see it. On the other end, so I have like an Italian side of my family and like a Jewish side of the family. The Jewish side of the family was all overweight. I grew up being like, I don't want to be like that. Mm. So like I was able to see the contrast and be like, I don't want to look like that. Right? And obviously I'm short. So like for dudes, you can't be short and fat. Like you're just never going to get 100. You know what I'm saying? So I had to work out. Like I literally had to work out. Right? I want to get to what did you learn on your journey?
Yeah. I think my big thing, and I think it's already mostly been said, but dedication over just motivation. Because I find that like I can motivate myself to do it for a couple days, but it's the dedication that gets me out of bed at 6:30 in the morning and out walking my dog by 7 in 25 degrees weather today. And that's the only reason I find that I actually am doing it, is I found that I actually, I want to now, and I'm actually dedicated to it. But I have had those ups and downs for a long time. I did have the family members who weren't as healthy. My grandmother was quite overweight and had diabetes. She had a couple different types of cancer. She had like high blood pressure, a bunch of things that I don't want for myself eventually. So that also kind of kicked me into gear and led me down this path.
Yeah, and I think that like this is proof that like it doesn't matter where you are, how old you are, where you're at, like you can always get healthier.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Like you can literally always get healthier by eating better. A lot of people are in a lot of pain because they eat a lot of these inflammatory foods. So like once that gets into your body, it just wreaks havoc. Right? So a lot of people can clean up their eating by eating these clean foods where you don't have that inflammatory response in your body. Because like all the itises are inflammation, right? Arthritis, stuff like that. And I was talking to, I think the lady this morning, and I was like, the only thing that really helps arthritis? Movement.
Yeah.
Right? Because like, again, as a PT, they can put you on meds. I get that. Cool. But if you're not moving, then they can put you on insulin. But if you're not losing weight, eventually you just need more and more, and more.
Yeah, they'll just up it.
Like as women, did you feel like this pressure, especially when you were younger, to look a certain way. And I know now with social media,
Yeah.
well, I'm assuming with social media now, like, I mean, you can't put on Instagram, without, seeing people who are photoshopped, are models, Britney Spears being naked, whatever it is. I know who you follow. So,
she was just on the radio when I pulled up too. So.
but like, what is that pressure? And does it put you in like one direction where it's like, I'm not going to eat, I'm going to be skinny? Or did it push you in another direction maybe where it's like, I'm not going to compete with that, like, I'm just going to eat? Like, what is that? For men, it's a little different. Like, dudes cannot put a post on Instagram with their shirt off and they get like 30 likes, right? A girl in a bikini nowadays, especially like your daughter's age, it'd be like 25,000 likes in like 3 hours, right? So everything is so skewed. And I'm being serious when I said you could legit cure cancer and get like 1,000 likes in an hour, and a girl in a bikini in Cabo could get 35,000.
Yeah.
Right? I would almost bet on those numbers.
No, it's true.
It's true, yeah.
So has anyone seen that like in their own life or with their kids, like that pressure?
I feel bad for the teenagers with social media being such a big thing these days. Like, when I was younger, like in high school and stuff, I wasn't overweight. But I ate like a lot. I just felt like maybe my metabolism was just great. I thought it was going to be like that forever. So I started gaining weight in college, and it just got more from there. But there was no social media at that time. If there had been, I'm pretty sure like in high school, it would have gone downhill because somebody would have said something like, oh, you're too skinny or blah, blah, blah. And then that would have gotten stuck in my head. And I'd be like, okay, I got to eat. I got to gain weight. And it would have gone that way. So I feel bad for like the teenagers with social media now. You can't, like, people judge you constantly. And
is anybody here around like teenagers a lot, either job wise? Yes. I don't want to call you out on it, but like, what is your perspective? What is your perspective on that? Have you seen a change?
Oh, it's horrible. A huge change. It causes so many issues that go on outside of school, and a lot of it body issue related. There's huge pressure, I feel like, for girls to look a certain way. And there's a lot of, because we see these photographs that are photoshopped, there's a lot of younger kids who are sending photographs. And it's just this total obsession with appearance. And not necessarily what's on the inside. And that's what's sort of gone away a little bit. So it just breeds this entire atmosphere of insecurity, which brings sort of the energy down. So if everyone's just kind of insecure and anxious all the time, it's just, it's like an explosion waiting to happen every day. And a lot of it is, or I would say probably 90% of it is due to just the constant exposure of what's out there on social media.
It's so different from when we were younger. Because we had magazines.
I was going to say we had magazines.
Yeah, we did.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like that constant all the time looking.
Well, what kind of magazines are you talking about? I think we were talking about different kinds of magazines.
I was like 17 magazines.
All right.
I was pure.
Okay.
So I did actually one.
Oh, the magazine?
No.
Oh,
but I did. Facebook started when I was in 8th grade, so I had Facebook all throughout high school.
How was
it
that?
Was not good.
Yeah,
it definitely was exactly that.
So you're the baby here,
Yeah.
because Facebook started at college for me.
Yeah.
My second year of college. Well, what was that like having social media?
I was already in college.
It was definitely tough because I definitely, like, exactly as you guys were saying, I was comparing myself to all of, like, the girls from high school, like the popular girls who, got all the attention and, I just thought were so much, prettier than me. And I definitely, that's when I started to gain weight. I gained most of it in undergrad, but I did, throughout, from my freshman year of high school to my senior year of high school, I probably gained like 20 to 30 pounds.
Yeah.
And
that's what I think would have happened if I had it when I was in
high
school.
Does it change? Because now you have, and listen, I do this a lot too. Like you always compare yourself to, other people doing stuff. And now from my standpoint as a male entrepreneur, like you compare yourself to other entrepreneurs online, a lot of them are fake.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like it's not even real. Like
it's a facade. It's a facade.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, how's that guy have this, and this? But like, it's literally not even real. Yeah. But you don't know.
No, it's a facade.
So like that comparison, do you? So all of us are over 25 here, I believe.
No, a couple
Right?
days.
A couple days older than 25. But like, so how does that for women, right? How does that play into like the comparison? So when you do go on Instagram and you see boom, 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 which Photoshop or whatever, now they have AI models, right?
It's a whole other thing.
It's a whole new thing. But like, do you feel that pressure? Does it affect the way you think?